Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to do an outdoor video, well, because the weather is good today. It's not so sunny, and so yeah, you guys have seen from the caption, today I'm going to be talking about 7 things that you must know before coming to China, whether to study or work or anything at all. So but before that, thank you guys so much for the love of my other video, my last video, where I talked about my experience the first day I came to China. And if you've not seen that video, I'm going to leave the link up here and in the description box, so you can just go and watch it after watching this one. So yeah, thank you guys so much for your support and for your love. I really appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. Thank you guys so much. So disclaimer, this isn't some random 5 tips you must know before going to China video or what. This is actually this video. Okay, hello. Yeah, so some Chinese kids are just passing by and they were staring at me, so I had to say hello. So yeah, this video is actually born out of my own experience in China. So I'm going to be personalizing these tips. I'm going to be personalizing them based on my experiences in China. So yeah, for today, the first tip I have is common greetings. Now, by common greetings, I mean common greetings in Chinese. Like, before you come to China, I think it will be very helpful or beneficial for you to learn some very common greetings or sayings in Chinese that can help you. For example, hello is ni hao. So I think it will be very useful to learn ni hao, goodbye, thank you, just little phrases like that. It'll go a long way in helping you, especially if you don't know how to speak Chinese. Yeah, coming to number 2, I'm going to be talking about some very important apps that you need. So I'm sure a lot of us have heard by now that most sites, especially Western sites such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, YouTube, are blocked in China, the Great Firewall, right? So you can't access these sites in China, so you need a VPN to access the site. So before you come to China, I'd advise you to download not 1, not 2, but tons of VPNs, as these VPNs can, screw up sometimes and just stop working. So you need to be prepared. You need to download some VPNs. It's very, very important for you to continue using your WhatsApp and Facebook and all of that. And aside from VPNs, some other apps that I think that you might need are some translating apps, especially if you cannot speak Chinese. And even if you can speak Chinese, trust me, there are still some Chinese that they will speak to you. You will know that. I'm not a Chinese. I'm not a Chinese. So yeah, you're going to need some. You can download some translating apps such as we have Playco, we have Hampilite, we have Train Chinese. There are so many translating apps out there that you can download. It's going to help you a lot. Sometimes you just want to buy something maybe in the market and you don't know what it's called in Chinese. You can simply use the translator and get it. And yeah, we have translating apps. We also have WeChat. WeChat is like the most common messaging app here in China, so it will be very helpful for you to download WeChat and just for convenience sake, for chatting with people in China. So yeah, that's it for the application. So the next point we're going to be addressing is that of culture shock. And yes, culture shock is very, very vast. Like, we can make a whole video just on culture shock, okay? But for the sake of this video, we're just going to say a few things that you should consider. Number 1, we have culture shock in respect to food. In this aspect, especially if you're someone from Western origin or from Africa and things like that, when it comes to food, the difference is very, very vast. And if you're also someone who doesn't like to try out and experiment on new things, it might be really helpful for you to come with a lot of food stuff from your country, a lot of your local foodstuffs, because the first few months in China, trust me, you will not be able to eat anything. You might not, let me not say you will not, you might not. For me, it was that way. Like, sometimes it's not that like they're not Chinese foods that you will like, it's just the fact that you don't know them yet. So as time goes on, you discover those foods and then you can begin to explore. So yeah, it's going to be advisable to come with some local food stuff that you can be eating for the meantime before you discover some Chinese foods that you like. Yeah, so something else that you should consider before coming to China is the fact that you are going to get a lot of stairs. as a foreigner, just being a foreigner is enough to get you a lot of stares. Like, and sometimes it's not necessarily bad. It's not like, you know, they don't like you or they have some evil intentions towards you. It's just the fact that, you know, foreigners are not so popular in China. Like, there are not a lot of foreigners, and in some Chinese villages, especially in the rural areas, they haven't seen a lot of foreigners. So if you find yourself in such places, you're like a mini celebrity. I mean, they're going to stare at you a lot. They're going to want to take pictures with you. They're going to want to take, you know, pictures of you, sometimes without your permission. Yes, but you know what, just make it a sport. Don't get angry. Don't take it personal, because it only get worse and you only feel bad. This time I was on the train, and there was this woman, this elderly woman with her husband. They were also on the train, and she kept talking to her husband about me, and I know she was talking about me because I understand Chinese, and she was saying to her husband about me and how my hair is this, and asking if it's my real hair and all that. But you know, sometimes actually they would come up to you and ask you those questions, but this particular woman didn't come up to me. She was just talking with her husband, and I just kept quiet. I just did as if I didn't know what they were talking about. And the next thing she did was, you just see them slyly put up their phone to take your picture, and I'm like, do you really think I don't know you're taking my picture right now? Like, it's so crazy. So another aspect of the culture shock, which I'm very sure a lot of us must have heard about, is the spitting. Yeah, Chinese people have this habit of just spitting randomly on the streets, on the sidewalks, pretty much everywhere you go. And it's so normal to them, like there's nothing wrong with it in their culture. But for us, you know, it's very ew. But so it's just something you're going to have to deal with. You know, sometimes you can just be passing by and see felgum on the floor, or spit, or can be very disgusting sometimes. But yeah, it's just there. It's just something you're gonna have to get used to being in China. So another aspect of is concerning the weather. And the weather is, most especially if you're from Africa or from the part of the world where there's typically no winter and all that, you have to consider the weather in China. It can get really cold in China during the winter, and so you should also be aware of what season it is when you're coming to China. If you're coming to China in the summer, you need to know what kind of clothes to pack and all that. And if you're coming in the winter, you need to be sure to, you know, have your jacket and all that with you, because the weather is not funny, you guys. Like in China, I just feel like the weather is just so extreme. Like when it's hot, it's really hot, and when it's cold, it's cold. Like now it's summer and it gets really hot. Another tip, if you're coming to China for the first time, is for you to have some Chinese currency with you, some RMBs. In the last video I told you guys about, I talked about how I came to China and I didn't have any money with me. I didn't have Chinese currency with me, so it can be very difficult. Like, you can get into problems if you don't find someone to, you know, help you. It get really difficult. So before you come to China, endeavor to change some of your country's money into RMBs or yuan, which is the official Chinese currency, so you can, you know, pay and, you know, just do stuff, basically do stuff. So the next point we're going to talk about is the discrimination aspect. And actually this is not something that is, you know, local or only just China. I think basically in every country of the world there is always, you know, discrimination, especially if you're a foreigner. However, when you get here, it can get real. Yeah, because, you know, sometimes they just react in very funny ways and you're wondering what's happening. So a typical example is, there was this day I was on the train. I got on the train actually, and when I came in, there was just one seat left, and so I just went and I sat down there. And then this dude that was sitting beside me, he suddenly stood up. Like the moment I sat down beside him, he stood up. And since there was no other seats on the train, this dude decided to stand. And I was like, not like, I was like, actually I felt a tad bit sad. I was like, yo, what's with this guy? Like, why would you stand up or something like that? But you know, like I said, don't take it personal. It's just something that happens. And yeah, not, of course, not all of them are like that, but you know, some of them can get like that. Maybe you're just walking past and then they just take their kids away, or they shift, or they just do some very funny movements that sometimes I don't even know it's because of me they shift. Yes, so now I'm going to talk about a very, very important part, and we're going to be talking about scam in China. So scam in China is quite rampant. Let me not say very, very rampant. It's quite rampant, especially if you're a foreigner, and more especially if you can't speak Chinese. If you don't understand Chinese, then you better just wash your eyes, like wash your eyes with soap, and you know, and just be on your guard, because a lot of them are going to try to take advantage of you and your inability to understand what's going on. So yeah, in this aspect, I can remember there was this day I went to the market when I was new here in China. I went to the market, I went to get some foodstuffs, and yeah, after buying the stuff I needed, the lady, you know, because here in China they weigh the foodstuffs and then they calculate the money. So she just put like some potatoes and tomatoes and, you know, vegetables. So she just puts it in on the calculator. She just punches the amount, takes it out, put the second item, punches it and all that, and then at the end of the day they give you the total bill. So when she was done, she was like, let's say 22.5 RMBs. And although when she was putting in my groceries and, you know, calculating it, I was just doing the calculations in my head, and in my head I had the figures I had was around 18 or 17, and she was like 22.5. And on a normal day I would just pay and, you know, get on my way, but I was like, can you recalculate? Like, can you recalculate? I just want to, like, slower this time, I want to calculate with you. And she was like, ugh. And then she started doing it again. 4.5 plus plus this is this plus, and when she was done, she told me, oh, it's 18.7. let's just say 18.7. And I was like, you just told me 22.5. She was like, it was a mistake, And I was like, seriously? Like, that day I was really shocked. I was like, oh my god, like, if I wasn't, because I would have just paid and just been on my way. But, and you know, they're always fast when you're calculating this stuff, and you just have to, you know. And that day I just asked her, no, can you calculate it again? And then it turned out she actually, and it wasn't like 4 or 5 yuan. And I was like, and trust me, I never went there to buy stuff again, like, ever. Because of course it wasn't no mistake. So this next point is one that drives me crazy, like crazy, and it's the noise. In China, you can be woken up at 6 a.m. with sounds of construction. You just wake up and you're hearing in the ground. Like, it's crazy. It's absolute, like, it drives me nuts. In China, just get ready for the noise. Just be ready, because although my school, like my school hostel, the hostel I'm living in, it's in the city area, and I think in the more quiet areas of Nanjing it might be better, maybe it might not be that bad. But here in the city, like, they are always doing something, they're always doing one thing or the other, and I'm wondering, is it like they don't have to finish building this road? It's not like they're building the road because the road is already good. It's just that, you see, in China, so many things will surprise you, so many things will confuse you. Just keep moving, because if you try to figure it out, you will go crazy. You will see a very good road that nothing is wrong with. They will just wake up one day and start breaking the road. After breaking and scattering the road, they will now build it back again, and you'll be like, what was wrong with this road the first time? Like, why did you guys have to break it down? Do you see a building now? Like, they do that a lot. Like, they're always constructing one thing or the other. That one is the order of the day. So if you're going to live, especially if you're going to live in the city, just be ready, just prepare your mind, because the noise there. So So the last point I'm going to be talking about today, which I don't think a lot of people talk about, like a lot of people who make videos about, you know, living in China and, you know, coming to China, is the fact that in China you just have to learn to mind your business. I don't know if that goes out well or that portrays what I'm trying to say, but the point is Chinese people are experts at minding their business. Like, they mind their business so good that it's now bad. You know what I mean? Like, here, like, nobody really gives an F about anybody. Like, everybody is just on their lane and everybody's just on their own, just doing their own thing. Here in China, it's possible, like, you can see maybe two people fighting on the road, like just maybe two people, they just fell out and they started fighting, and you see people just passing by, like nobody will even as much as look at you, not to talk of coming to separate you. You know, like in places like in Nigeria and all that, once two people start fighting, whether it's an albero and a passenger or something like that, or just two people that just maybe they're having an argument and it leads to blows, and you see people separating, like, hey, stop. In this place, you are on a long team. They will so ignore you. like when I mean it's bad in the sense that those two people can be fighting and killing themselves, and like blood will be everywhere, and people are seeing the blood, but when they pass, they'll just pass like this, so the blood will not touch them. And they will keep going where they are going. Nobody is separating you. When you finish fighting, you dust your bum and you go home. People are experts at minding their business, whether it's their job or anything they are doing. They just do that thing that they are meant to do, and they don't even add extra, they don't even add jara. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed. Also, share this video to anyone you know who is planning on coming to China for work or study, or you know, just even travel. Let them know what it's like here in China and what to expect. I'm going to be making more and more videos about life in China, and yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.